morning, John Zimmerman with Polytek Surface Coatings, part of Rochester Outdoor Living, and you're standing in my garage, and I'm a little embarrassed because it's a mess right now, but I want you to see the way it is now with the dirt and the cracks and the pitted areas. Today's a big day. We're actually going to do my own garage, and I'm rolling up my sleeves. I got my dirty work pants on, going to work with the guys, and by the end of the day, we're going to have a new garage floor to show you. We've unloaded all the junk out of the garage, as you can see. We've swept out, and we're going to do one more walkthrough to show you kind of what we're looking at. So if you follow me down here with the camera, we've got a nice divot area out here that we'll be correcting. Again, lots of pitted areas. This is a pretty sad looking garage floor, to be honest. You can put my thumb right down and we've got these hairline cracks. We're going to be filling those in a second. And then really a nice example of a big deep crack down here where we've even got a little bit of a drop, a change in elevation from up here down to here. It's probably about maybe even over a quarter of an inch lip that we're going to taper off so that it's not noticeable when we're all done. This is our shot blaster. And I'll give you kind of a close-up. This is a steel pellet, and it fires those pellets down on the concrete to create what we call a new profile on the concrete. So as you look down here, the concrete starts to look a little different. Most concrete, when it's finished, has a real smooth surface, and that smooth surface makes it difficult for coatings to stick or to adhere. And so we run over the entire surface and we fire those steel pellets down, and now it feels like, if you can zoom in on my hand here, it feels more like sandpaper. It's got a nice rough texture. So if you zoom in real close and you look down, you'll see lots of bumps, lots of edges, and that's preparing the surface. Putting a new profile is the term that we use. Put a new profile on the concrete so that when we begin the installation of the coating, when that sinks in, it's got something to really make good adherence to and sink its teeth into. So right now we're preparing the mender. This is a two-part chemical that goes together. Then we mix in some silica sand to add to the strength. This liquid will begin to set up and harden, and it actually hardens harder than concrete. Okay, so the mender is down. All these green areas is some of the deeper pockets where the mender is pulled in there and has almost created a new solid surface. This, I'm going to run my finger over where that big heavy ridge was, or that crack was, and you can begin to see now that it's already starting to take on a smooth feel here. This is our grinder. So now that the mender is down and we've done the shot blasting, now we're going to go over the floor with our grinder and bring it back to flush, bring it back to smooth. Now this is that same area where there was a fairly substantial ridge, and my hand's going right over that. Now the concrete is kind of etched, it's a little scratchy now, that's what we want. And we refer to that as an 80 grit profile. It's going to have some bite to it. But take a look at that crack, just fantastic. Even those pitted areas that we were showing earlier have all been filled, ready to go. And just like that, we've got the color chip down. We actually apply 2 to 3 times the amount of color chip that we'll leave on the floor. We intentionally over apply it. You can see, I mean, it's just piled thick on top of the floor. Not all of that's going to stay. We want to make sure that there's no misses, that there's paint chip evenly distributed throughout the floor. When we're done, what that paint chip does by having a high amount of paint chip down on the floor is it'll give the floor texture. It's going to feel like an orange peel, if you would, where there's just a little bit of a bump and texture to it. It still is easy to sweep and clean, but having that much paint chip down really gives it nice texture to walk on, so it's not slippery. So now we begin cutting in. We're getting the hard to reach areas. This will be actually the top coat now. So we've got the base coat of the polyurea, then the color chip. Now that it's all scraped and smooth, now we're going to apply the top coat, which is a polyurea polyaspartic. Top coat's done. It'll be safe to walk on in about 4 hours. We're going to slap a quick coat of paint up here to trim it out, and it should be a wrap. Okay, we're back. The garage is done. We've put a quick coat of paint on the walls, replaced the old cabinets with some. We just picked these up at a local store, a couple $100 a piece. We didn't go over the top at all. Got everything cleaned up. Nothing like doing your garage that forces you to get rid of all the clutter. But notice the floor? Perfect. I'm standing right on the crack. That crack would have gone right through here, all the way back to the wall. I've just got a little rug to stand on here. It's not high anything at all. Just an area rug to stand on in front of the tool bench. But there's that. We have a brand new garage. That's our Polytek surface coatings. Visit us online for a little bit more information, or call for a free estimate. We'd be glad to stop out. We'll measure your garage, take a look at the cracks, see what it's going to need to do to fix it, bring some color samples by for you, and get you a free written estimate. Thanks.